Oh, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to another episode or slash scene of Living a World of Darkness, Rage Across New York, a werewolf venue. Tonight, or this evening, we set the scene on the Born of the Sept, where Jacob has sought out Roy, the underdog, Cleof Arun of the Bone Norris, a loyal supplicant to Mother Larissa and
the warrior rat.
Great warrior rat who's totally not a social outcast to the family. No, that didn't happen. That's not true. Fake news.
Fake news.
And yes, Jacob has just given Mr. Underdog a call to meet him on the Bourne, where he simply sits of his little his flask, his sort of little camping flask.
Is it in the Umbra?
No, it's in the Tellurian.
Okay. The underdog comes and he presents his neck immediately to his Raya, and he says, "Honored elder, I'm honored to hear your invitation."
Evening, Roy, Underdog. I keep forgetting what you prefer.
Both is fine, Raya.
Roy Underdog. I mean, that makes a nice surname, I suppose. Take a seat. He's sitting on a bench, a bench and table, so it's has two sides.
He sits down. He's wearing a hoodie, not like a criminal hoodie, but one of those hoodies who's one of those hoodies which is for study working out. Maybe he comes from working out.
It's like a gym hoodie.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's not shady. So I suppose you can guess why I called you here.
I have guesses, right.
You are the first and currently the only person who's requested to join my pack ever since Garm left.
He nods. Hopefully others will request it as well, right?
I'll be meeting up with Harvika later. And I believe Moses might join a pack, might make one. I don't know yet. Need to sort that out with him. Considering he's the highest ranking person beneath me.
There was he talks about an NPC OOC, just so you know. There was a new guy who recently arrived, the Glasswalker Ragabash. He's the Moses and I met him along with newcomers. There's the new Get a Ferris Scullyard from the from Get a Ferris. We met him, and he seems to be a bit of a one of those people who talks a lot and needles you a lot. But it seems he ran away from something, a beast, and we wanted to make sure with Moses that it doesn't come here. I wanted to tell you first because I usually tell you everything I hear, Raya. I know you called me here for something else, but I just didn't want to forget that.
Who's the name of this guy?
Milo, his name, I think. He's It was like I don't want to say a typical Get of Ferris, but like he was one of those Galliards who's like hyped, was always ready to fight. He enjoys fighting, it seems, like punching things.
Uh, it's unusual to hear of a Fenrir running for any reason.
The he shrugs. I think like um, he and I will check this lady, the blonde lady that we were like investigating.
Yeah.
That lady, like that Black Spiral Dancers had like this place, and I think we're gonna check that place with him. I just wanted to like get him into action immediately, maybe with Havica or there's a new cub named Icarus with that guy. Um, other than that, like it seems this new pack at the Fire and the Hole is in. They seem to have like a bit of a pack problem.
Huh?
Yeah, like they're like their pack has just been they're weird. Like they're angry at each other. So I think like the someone will talk to them or some shit like that.
Hmm. I want to check it out.
He nods. Uh, yeah, those are the things I heard, Raya. Like I really just wanted to give you. he smiles like a rundown about the things I heard.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
He nods,
What about front?
smiles.
I have to see what could be done about that. Hopefully, the challenge doesn't have to come out of it. But
They seem to like very angry, and then that like girl named Fire the Hole said like, of course I just let this go, but like she said it in a way in this like I call a Shadow Lord way where like she didn't let it go, but she says she let it go because like she said like I let this go after I said that the Mother Larissa doesn't like Garu fighting with each other.
mm-hmm.
So like I think yeah it will be very like cool if you check it because they seem to be having an issue.
Mm. All right. Okay. I might have a chat with these other guy as well about this pack. Obviously, I said I'd only be bringing people in that I either trusted or I saw as best of us. It's kind of new for me to set a harsh standard like that, but over the years I've seen a lot of packs fall apart not due to conventional tragedy or Garu hubris, but generally just due to either incompetence, simple lack of communication, or just general power mongering amongst each other. It's strange. So I feel the need to put my foot down a little bit.
Underdog just nods, when Jacob says like, "Yeah, I've seen shit," Underdog's like, "Yeah, like I know he's seen shit."
So you want to join my pack? Why is that?
Soraya, when I come here, I came to like make changes, and like there's not a lot of people who were around, um, who were doing things except you, Havica, and Carl. Like I try to do things, and I see you like as a person who get shit done, and as in like someone who I heard from stories from your old pack mates. Like being under you was very cool, as in like it was an honor, but um morally I wanna like join a pack to learn from you. I'm
How so?
like I I have been pushed to the tribe Bornars, tribe of like the rat, because I my mom in my rite of passage mocked me while like the process of my rite of passage was I need to fight with these two things in a pit, and then like I am a bit of a slippery person, and I like to like slip around and make my enemy tired. So the fight was going on, and my mom was keep mocking me from the top of the pit. There was no one else, and she was keep mocking me, and I was given to my rage. It was extremely hard for me to control myself, like very hard, and that's like a very hard thing for me. And I know that if I like give in to my rage, I will die. So I retreated, and then they told me, you know what, like you're useless piece of shit. Fuck you. Join Bornars. They only will accept you. And I joined the tribe Bornars, and I was a bit of, like I'm not gonna say the word abuse, but it was like mistreated by my Garu elders, behind of the Alpha most of the time, because like I had different views. I don't try to be black and white, but I was nearly stabbed with silver once because I said, yeah, every war has like two sides, and tragedies are like in both sides. Like they literally like nearly stabbed me because I showed empathy. And I I heard rumors, and I heard um like I heard stories about you that like you led things, you become a great leader, and I know I have a lot to learn, but I want to be like that in the future. And there's no one else who can teach me better than you, Ryan, in the step right now. Who's looking for a pack member? Like I want to kind of cut off Mother Larissa there because she's very good as well, but she's probably not looking for pack members right now.
No, I think she's quite comfortable where she stands.
He nods.
So, okay. Makes a lot of sense. I say I'm quite humbled by the idea that you want to you've come all this way to to learn from me. It's 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 a bit of a first.
He kind of like stops, and then Jacob is done. He also says like, I also felt like I was unwelcomed in the place that I was in, so I wanted to go to a place where things are more open minded for me and my kin. I have 10 kinfolk, and they were kicked out outside of the sept because like some of them uh, they were like people who were like not wanted. Basically, they didn't have the features of their ancestors, probably.
Just gonna have Jacob make a few intelligence empathy rolls because these are some fairly heavy claims, and he wants to at least know if Underdog believes in them or not. Because yeah, very heavy claims to be leveraging. Difficulty is based on your manipulation plus subterfuge. So what is that?
2.
Jesus.
Underdog does not have subterfuge at all. He has other social stats. He refuses to lie or mislead.
Okay, I'm just gonna have him make 5 checks. Okay, so he knows that you're probably not lying, or that you at least believe in what you're saying to the point of it.
His
being
mother,
to you.
his mother, the way I wrote the backstory is like very traditional, and like he felt the grudge of his mother, and like he was pushed. That is correct. Like they literally told him like you all want to join the Bone Nurse, and the way that he thinks about the kinfolk is also true, because like his dad was living in the his dad was living outside of the Sept and in this city, and like his dad is a mute, like his dad doesn't have a tongue,
Okay.
so like there is suspicions, but like it's obvious that he doesn't want to think about it. Like there is also like from the intelligence empathy, you also may say like there's probably things he suspects, but he doesn't say because he doesn't know if it's true or not.
That's fair. So, Jake has been like listening. What's to say? Okay. Sounds like you haven't had it very easy. I'm happy that you've been able to make a place for yourself here at least, even if your prior home was less than welcoming.
He nods. People here are nice, Raya. They while there's like a lot of different views here, people are respectful. Like a couple days ago I said like, I'm not interested in dying. I don't want to die. I want like there's no point in fighting a war that like you're absolutely certainly going to lose. We should always try to find like clever ways to deal with things. Like I don't see a point to attack from the front when you know the enemy has like shotguns with silver blasts. Like we should try to create tactics. So, and like some people disagreed, some people agreed, but it was like still respected. I wasn't like shed on.
Hmm. I'll be honest, unless the past comes following, I generally expect the past to remain the past.
He nods.
That is, of course, unless it comes looking for us. But, well, you've told me a lot about yourself and why you're here and what you want from me, but if there's one thing I would like to know, it's what do you think you'd be able to provide to the pack as a whole? As well, I appreciate that you are the first person to ask. You also aren't the only person who will potentially get the right to join.
He nods. Raya, I am a guy who I call myself, not the best of Rune, but I am an Arun. I probably like not as much as you do probably, but like not as not good as you are probably. But like I'm a good combatant. Um while I was not strong as many Aruns of my old sept, I was good at fighting cleverly. Um I do know a lot about the streets. My instincts regarding knowledges, like my instincts and knowledges regarding the city, is quite well advanced. Um, Not because I choose the way I this life, but the life pushed me to this side. I know about the other side of the law, as we talked in the past. Um, I don't see a lot of Aruns who has like fingers in the pies or like people who gathers information, but I try to do that as well. Um, I A lot of people says like I would die for my pack. I would die for my pack, but not without kicking and screaming and cursing and not fighting. Um, the things I can provide is a good Arun and a guy who likes to think that he thinks outside of the box.
Mm, well, why don't you give me an example?
The He actually like stops and thinks. He's actually like thinking because like he wants to give a good example and like he doesn't know, you know, if a Silver Fang would like the Bornar's way of thinking outside of the box. Soraya, we operate in New York, right? And that city is full of dangers because, yeah, you are here more than most of us. I think that in order for us to survive in the city, we should know the city better. And a lot of people says like, yeah, we should know it. Yeah, we should know it. But what I mean by that is, he pulls up a piece of paper from his like back pocket, and you see like the bits of pieces of Manhattan. This is a map, specifically area where the gang of Brooklyn guys, those guys who capture humans and feed water to those, like weird water that turns them into tentacle monsters.
Hmm.
This is their turf, and this is like the manholes, uh, where those manholes lead, how many doors are there, and the times where people goes in and it goes out. I kind of checked this for me and my kin because I kind of sent them to check that place, but I don't want them to get captured. So I kind of planned this out. I went there at nights, entered the manholes, looked around, sneaked around, create a map, and I will give this to other runes or other packs in the future because they may need it. And maybe you may seen a guy who creates a map in, as an rune in your experiences, but I didn't. So maybe I am a bit of a different guy, or hopefully. Maybe this is a waste of time, Raya, but hopefully it will work.
He thinks. He
Does he look unimpressed?
He's mixed.
Okay.
I'm trying to process everything he said.
Pardon?
I'm trying to process everything he said.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to, because I understood the last part and I completely forgot about the first, the second half. Sorry, I remember the second half, I forgot about the first half. Actually, if I can get a Cliff Notes OC version for the record.
Okay. Basically, he created a map for the gang that is operating and stealing humans
Okay.
for like, and that map is consisted on where they are, and around that map there's a bunch of notes that says like manholes, manhole covers, places to hide, places to like places where if like a guy runs away from them or like runs away from anyone or they need to like disappear. Basically, he pointed out everything around a certain area of Brooklyn, and he will share this with the gangs, or he will share this with like the packs of New York.
Mm-hmm.
So like in the future, if we like run away from something, if we need to like fuck off, they can use the manhole covers. They can use the places because Underdog provides them that information.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, planning ahead.
Planning ahead.
And then like he adds, I don't know if we will ever use this Raya, but like if we use it, that would be cool. I would be happy if we ever use it. But if hopefully we will never need to run away from.
I can dig it.
He takes a deep breath when you say like I can dig it.
Jacob laughs. Slight bit of Schadenfreude. He doesn't say that. He just kind of engages a little bit of Schadenfreude.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do you see yourself going if you were to be a part of this pack? Like, what's? I guess it would be a better question to be, what would be your end goal? I mean, I know you fairly well at this point, but I don't think you've ever told me what your end goals are when
To
you
make
came.
it to make a difference would be the best goal I can say. A lot of people tells me it doesn't take to be a genius to understand there's a lot of lies in the lessons they teach you about how heroes of the nation, everyone is a hero, God were born to serve, we're gonna kill every worm, and you hear, someone is dying, you see them dying, you see your kinfolk getting killed because someone wants to send a message. I want to make a change. I don't know how. I don't know uh, if I will ever succeed in that change. But I want to set a path for me, for a pack I want to join, and for my tribe. And I want to be like, set an example for some Bonars who have a lot of rabble. I don't know if you noticed, right, but our tribe has a lot of people who doesn't do anything. Like my tribe, the most, we have a thing called the rabbles. They go pass to your rite of passage, fuck off from the sept, doesn't do anything. Lay around, don't do shit. And I want to inspire those people. Everyone can make a change. We need everybody we can have for this battle. There's no time for infighting. There's no time for bullshit. We need. I joined late to this nation. And I know world is in a fucked up place. I'm not gonna say I want to win the war. I think that's not something I can do very, easy. I think we all, every single one of us, need to work their ass off to do that. But I want to make a change, Raya. I want to inspire my Bonar brothers and sisters. I want to inspire people, and hopefully, maybe I can change how people look at Bonars.
I say that's a good start.
He nods and smiles. What do you think about Havoc, Araya?
Havoca? My limitations of them have been my interactions with him have been somewhat limited. He seems like a nice enough guy. A little bit wound up a little bit tight, which is saying a lot considering it's me saying that. But fundamentally a good person, I think.
He nods. I agree.
Sometimes a little bit too demanding of others and not enough of himself, but that's something that can be worked on.
The Sept has very new people.
Well, as new people, the Sept is very much like New York itself.
What do you expect from an Arun, Raya?
That's a good question. I have a few answers to that.
Can you give me a maybe example about be like that guy? I will probably still be myself, but who would be you prefer to have a packmate? And say maybe I wish I hope that guy either was still alive or still here. Maybe I can study some stories about them.
I think I could give a few answers to that. Obviously, everybody expects an Arun to be able to fight well and hard and smart. Well, I think the thing that goes a bit underrated with Aruns is I think the thing I'd expect an Arun to have, which a lot of people don't expect of them, is to have empathy. I would. I'd ask the Galliards for some tales regarding a charter guard Foston called Man at Arms. He could tell you a little bit about an Arun who had empathy to spare. He's a good man.
He nods. There was a black spiralkin. There were like 8 of them or 6 of them who jumped at us. Me and Havika. We killed 5 of them, and my claws ripped one of them at the chest, but he was still alive. He begged me to take him to a hospital. Havika was standing behind me. I didn't know about Havika. I said, I apologize, but I have to do what I need to do, so can you please help me? He did. He still maybe hoped that I would take him to a hospital, but I kind of had to end him. The guy ended the way he begged me still haunts me.
Hmm. I actually have a kinfolk who used to be a spiral.
As in werewolf or kinfolk?
Kinfolk.
Enoch.
She used to be a glasswalker kin. Then her brother, one of her brothers went AWOL, went spiral, took her and their older brother with them. Obviously, well, things degenerate pretty quickly, considering one of her brothers is now spiral, and we managed to get the older brother, convince him to help us. I'm not going to say there was no coercion involved. There was very, very little of it, actually. Gar, my packmate, was very ready to do some pretty dark things to this kinfolk, and actually did break his pinky finger. But it was actually about it. After that, I just didn't actually do anything. All I did was appeal to his better conscience, and he decided to help us. I promised that I'd try and help him through the situation. Couldn't guarantee him his life, obviously, because the Kinfolk Council very much have a say in it, and that is power I've granted to them via the very laws I wrote into the Sept. We find out through the information he gives us where they're working out of. Rescue his sister. He was a lot more. He was trying a lot harder to redeem herself.
What is she trying? Why is she trying to redeem herself if she didn't do anything wrong?
Well, she still ultimately did things wrong. She was being used to cook some sort of wormish concoction, potion, drug. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but it was being force fed to people they kidnapped.
Honored elder, with all due respect, if someone puts a gun to my dad's head and says, cook things, he will do it. Because he can't defend himself. He's old. What redemption we're talking about when someone does things with forced things? Why there needs to be redemption?
If it had been entirely up to me, I would have guaranteed these two kin their lives. But
He nods. He understood what he means.
their situations were, even they had choices to make at some points. And obviously, their choices didn't have a lot of agency. And that is taken into account. In fact, when the trial was held, which unfortunately was only for the sister, as the older brother had fallen into depression and committed suicide. That was taken into account by several of the members of the Kinfolk Council. They understood that she didn't have much of a say in the matter or the situation she was thrown into. Doesn't mean she is entirely without responsibility for some of the things that happened, but a lot of it is mitigated. But it's not entirely removed either.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they decided, and they decided she should have her second chance, and well, she's been working extremely hard to earn it ever since, and I'm glad to say she's doing an incredible job at it.
It's
Would happily die for her as I would any of my kinfolk.
he smiles at that because like that's something that he can actually very easily like empathize with. Like he's not a guy who wants to die for, like he doesn't want to die, but like dying for kin is like something that he would do totally. I have a dad, he is a mute. I have like a sister, but like she's not a real sister. Someone who I met like a couple years ago after I become a Garu. Her name is Ginny. She's studying at like a college. I try to help her out with the money I earn to educate her. She's like a very nice person, and she's studying public relations. Other than that, I have a lot of friends as kin. I told you what they do, but like I also took in your advice regarding making sure we're not off the rails and we don't do things that is going to make us the same with others. I recently invited a bunch of people from Brooklyn to this place. As you know, the gangs in Brooklyn were being attacked by this one major gang. Their families and parents were getting killed and turned into monsters. Humans didn't knew that, but some of them were not happy. So I invited them and said, like we can try to take care of you guys. They came. They live in streets. They don't have anything, but at least they're safe now.
That's something.
It's any other questions, right?
No, interview's over. How do you think you did?
I have no idea. This is the first time I'm entering a pack, or at least getting interviewed for a pack.
I've never been in a pack before.
Pardon?
I'm surprised you haven't been in a pack before.
There were one other cub. He died.
Fair enough. Jacob Bird takes a flask of tea. I think he'll do right by Lion.
He smiles, very broad smile. Um, thank you, Raya. I'm honored. Whew, wow. Yeah, I'm honored, Raya. Thank you.
It was good to see we're giving it the appropriate amount of excitement. Also, Lion is well, he's Lion. He's pretty proud, and he'll expect it to be proud to be part of his pack and a member of his pack. So I'm not saying don't be self-critical. I mean, it's me, but
I won't fail you, Raya.
don't forget to carry yourself with a bit of pride.
He nods.
I'm not really considering stuff like beta, omegas, etc. Never really dealt with omegas that much in the packs I was in. And beta, well, I'd say we need a pack of at least, what, 4 to even consider that.
He nods. The just you are someone who proved, at least to me, many times that you're open to communication.
Hmm. Communication is important, not only in getting things done, but in making sure that everybody understands each other, which is not easy to do in the Pride of the Sun.
Pride of the Sun. What does this mean, Ryan?
Well, the pride is obvious. It's based on the fact that we're as much a pride as we are a pack. After all, lions travel in prides as opposed to packs. Also symbolic of how we're all very proud to be part of this pack, but the sun part's a bit more complicated. The sun has a bit of a tighter connection to my tribe.
He knows.
Did you know that the Silverfangs are the only, if not one of the only tribes, I believe they're the only one to have long-standing pacts with both Luna and Helios?
I had no idea, Ryan.
My tribe has a very structured way of organizing itself. There are a lot of references to the sun in our tribal culture. And Lion, a powerful totem, also travels and rests within a place where Helios himself is strongest, along the equator. So it kind of suited all of us to call ourselves the Pride of the Sun. Not actually a name that was my invention, it was actually my cousin's.
Where is she, Ryan?
She's gone.
I am very sad to hear. He looks down.
She was the most wonderful person I ever knew. Saying a lot, because I am I've had the great fortune in my life to be surrounded by wonderful people. But that is neither here nor there. Her legacy lives on in this pack, so I'd rather not see it go to waste. One of the reasons why I have arranged and been granted the right by Lion to remain as his patron for a bit longer, so this pack could continue.
He nods. I will make her proud as well.
She was Shadow Lord Galliard. Her story is quite an interesting one. I would ask. She only died a clear, so her stories will probably not be well known, but she has her part in at least a good few. Might be worth asking around the set. She did make a bit of a name for herself. She was quite outspoken. She was actually big into psychology.
I will ask about her as well.
But yeah. So now we are two.
He nods. We should drink, but I know you don't drink, so maybe you should drink water or cola. Or I can actually cook you some beef. My dad runs a butcher shop. We got good meat.
I'm a carnivore, I must admit. I can't imagine why that is.
Pardon, right? I beg your pardon. I didn't understand.
I'm a bit of a carnivore. Can't imagine why that is.
I wonder, should I go outside of the city, hunt an animal and offer to the Shrine of Lion? I mean, would that be good? I know next to nothing about spirits. Maybe I can ask about the Bornars. They know about spirits. There's a new guy, an Afro Rite Master. He likes to help around. Maybe I can ask him.
I would do that.
Okay.
Actually, hey kid. Make it an animal of appropriate worth, though.
Okay.
Not rabbits or rodents or anything of the like.
A bear?
A bear, maybe. I'm not sure how a lion feels about bear meat. But I'm sure he could settle for something like deer or stag or some other large herbivore. I say settle. I believe he'd be quite satisfied with you.
He nods. Oh, see, I need to go near my brother. Would you mind if we end the scene here?
No, I think that's a good place to end it.
Okay.
As they continue, just say, talk and eventually veer off. Now, you made Packmates. We're showing the scene there. Thank you, Claire, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.